Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with round 9 of season 3 of the F1 2021 Williams Road to Glory. Yesterday we head back to the home of British Motorsport, the home of Formula 1 I'd argue still. Yes, we're here back at Silverstone, of course, the team's home Grand Prix, my last home Grand Prix as well on F1 2021. And of course, if you missed out on the last video from Austria that went live on Friday, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But yeah, today though, we head back to Silverstone. Safe to say, things are certainly heating up between myself and Max Verstappen in the hunt for the Drivers' World Championship. Like I said, if you missed out on that last video, I would highly recommend going back and seeing it. But as well, I just want to say a massive thank you. 52,000 subscribers now. Every single video I seem to be saying thank you for another milestone. So you guys are just incredible. You know, at the moment, it's absolutely insane. I'm so hyped for F1 2022 as well. So, you know, if you are as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button for daily Formula 1 content. But having a look then at the Drivers' World Championship, currently the gap at the top, 40 points there after Verstappen snuck another race victory from away from us right at the end of the Austrian GP there. We're just 10 points back though, behind Sergio Perez at the moment. And yeah, Red Bull, they've basically wrapped up the Constructors' Championship at the halfway stage of the year. We've got a 39-point gap, though, to Mercedes further back there, as Hamilton having a very quietly consistent start to the campaign. But Silverstone this weekend, then, a race that I'm sure pretty much every driver in Formula 1 would want to win, but mainly the Brits want to try and do well around this venue. We'll have a lot of home support behind us, so fingers crossed we can do well here. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, the choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Right, well here we are then back at Silverstone. Well, apparently we had a little bit of rain prior to qualifying, so the track just looking a little bit overcast at the moment as we get ready to start our first flying lap there. We actually had a little issue with the hydraulics before we got into qualifying, so we've lost a couple of minutes of running, so trying to cram 3 laps in here at Silverstone might be a little bit more of a difficult challenge, but yeah, fingers crossed we can just try and get the first lap in as a good baseline. I think we just saw Verstappen running a low 26. So yeah, if we can get close to that, I'd be pretty happy. But of course, yeah, this track should again theoretically suit our car quite nicely, just like Austria did. Of course, qualifying round there wasn't much to write home about, but the early laps in the race was something else. Just really picked off cars one by one and was very happy with the way we navigated that early on in the session. But we'll see what we can do here at Silverstone. It's through the first sector, pretty nice and tidy, leaving a little bit on the table. Don't want to take too many risks on this first run. Ooh, a little bit of a wobble there as we try to upshift halfway through the penultimate couple of turns, but up towards the line, it's going to be a 25.7, so immediately we set the benchmark. A few tenths clear of Max Verstappen, but I'm sure the Dutchman will improve. But yeah, I think we've definitely left a little bit of time there, so very surprised and happy by that first run. Right, we're getting ready then for our second run here in qualifying. Didn't want to try and risk cramming the third one in case we did something stupid, but rather surprisingly, Mercedes as well. This is certainly a weekend I'm sure they'd love to be on the money. And Valtteri Bottas has gone 2 tenths clear of what I was able to do earlier on in the session, then starting our final run here at Silverstone with just a handful of seconds left on the clock there as through turn 1. Really try and be as smooth as you can on the inputs. Damn, to drag the car in the apex at turn 3 there. Through the loop we go. They're always really difficult to try and guarantee you get the car on the inside for turn 4 and then cycle back up through the gears, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th gear as you head down the Wellington Straight there. We are in the green at the moment as we get to the end of sector 1 and we are purple there, so that's exactly what we need at the start of this second lap there, and it's just about trying to find those little bits of time here and there as the lap unfolds. As there we go, another 10th bound through the hairpin of, I want to say Luffield, but someone might get mad at me in the comment section. Through the old turn 1 there of, again, I want to say cops, but I apologise if I don't know why I don't know Silverstone corner names. I just never really have picked them up with much confidence. Here is a little bit of a mistake as we head through Maggots and Beckett's. Their big mistake as we head out of Maggots and Beckett's. They're getting all four wheels on the grass, but we keep the foot in, and now we're going to need a miracle as we head down in towards the final few corners here of qualifying for the British Grand Prix. Can we try and claw back the pace, though? I'm not sure we're going to be able to unless we absolutely send it through the final couple of turns there. Chuck the car in. We are back up into the green, but it's not going to buy enough, I don't think, to make the difference out of the final corner, and we pretty much match our original time. I think we were 1,000th of a second off when qualifying was all said and done there, and I think we might just have thrown away pole.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Bottas, Hamilton and Mr. Monaco. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well, there we go then, qualifying done and dusted here at Silverstone, and Valtteri Bottas starts from pole position here, just less than a 10th clear of his teammate Lewis Hamilton. But yeah, definitely feel like pole was on the table if we didn't make that mistake through Maggots and Beckett's. What was the gap actually between my two laps? Sorry, we did improve on the second one there by 0.08 of a second when all is said and done there. And you can see even the sector times were pretty consistent across the pair of them. But yeah, I mean, Verstappen didn't have the best run either, down in P6, so Sainz with a penalty as well. Things could get interesting then here for the British Grand Prix, but we need to try and make sure we outscore both of those Red Bulls. This is a critical weekend. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
Welcome along then to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone Circuit for today's Grand Prix. The 3.6 miles of the Silverstone Circuit in Great Britain is hallowed ground to the Formula 1 faithful. We have 18 corners that wrap around this former World War II airbase and some good passing opportunities at the end of the DRS zones. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's talk about Mr. Monaco. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
They've been avoiding mistakes and have had solid pace, so it's been a good season so far, but whether they can keep that up long term remains to be seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Mr. Monaco, Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Verstappen, Ricciardo, Norris, Gasly, and George Russell, Raikkonen, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, and Ocon, Sainz, Mazepin, Nicholas Latifi, and Guan Yu Zhou. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Oh, Jeff, if only you knew. Today, we're going to have to take all the risks here at Silverstone. But 26 laps ahead of us then around the home of British Motorsport. We've got both Mercedes just in front, both Red Bulls just behind, and even Charles Leclerc just poked up to say hello as well here on the grid. Don't know whether actually going that much under fuel is going to be the right way to go. We'll just go a little bit less sort of brave, I think is the way I'm going to describe it. But here we are then, on the grid. Like I said, this is a must-win race, or at least we've got to take points out of Max Verstappen. 40 points at the halfway stage of the year. We've got to hope we're Sebastian Vettel, and he's Fernando Alonso at this stage of the game. But ready then, here at Silverstone, a race that they all want to win. 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix. And it is going to be lights out, and away we go. And not actually making a complete hash of the start. As we head down towards turn 1, Charles Leclerc's going to have a look up the inside there. He might actually just complete the move. Yes, he has. Like I said, we want to take risks. I don't want to throw it all away, though, at the start of the Grand Prix there. As we thought about having a look back up the inside of Charles Leclerc. As we've got yellow flags out further back. Someone's having issues. As I just try and put the throttle down a little bit early out onto the Wellington straight there. But neither Perez or Verstappen making an impact off the start here. I can't help but feel like the top 6 are probably just going to break away early on in this Grand Prix, sort of leave the McLarens, the AlphaTauris, and even our teammate to try and battle it out for the scraps. But yeah, we need to try and stick close here early on in this race. Of course, the old turn 1 is just going to be AIOP. Yeah, we can keep Perez and Verstappen at bay, though, early on there, as you can just see through that old turn 1. I mean, I had an awful line, but yeah, there's no way I can match what the likes of Bottas, Hamilton, and Leclerc are going to be able to do there. But like I said, this Williams often comes on strong later on in an afternoon. We're going to go for not a ridiculously aggressive one stop. Soft medium is definitely the way to go around nearly every Formula 1 circuit on F1 2021. But yeah, Bottas leads into the in lap 1. Really the only sort of change around we've seen out of this front group is Charles Leclerc getting the run up the inside of me down at turn 1. But no dramatics. That's probably what we need to start the British Grand Prix here today. Or we could have done maybe, maybe if Verstappen had just got turned around or something. But we won't worry about that. So I'm already starting to get a little bit worried that maybe the Mercs have been told just to push and try and get out of Charles Leclerc's DRS range early on in this Grand Prix. I'm trying to lean a little bit more on the Ferraris. You can just see top-end speed. Charles Leclerc has really just got nothing at the moment as we try to stick close there. Wobble around a little bit at the back end in the dirty air, but maybe we need to try and get a good run out onto the hangar straight, as again just suffering in that dirty air there. Can we go slow in, fast out, really maximise the run on the exit here? And now we're going to start gaining on Charles Leclerc, and look at how much we gain down at the hangar straight here, but it's not quite going to be enough this time round as we head down in towards the final couple of corners of lap 2. Charles Leclerc, though, is definitely going to start costing us time here as we get all over his gearbox through the final couple of corners there. Avoid the curbing on the inside and the huge sausage curb on the exit. Bottas is a 28.2.
Being enabled this lap, we can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Oh, a little bit of a skip there from the rear end as it just bottomed out through the undulation of turn 1 and turn 2 there, but still now all over the back of Charles Leclerc, and now with the DRS. Surely this should be a nice done deal here as we get really good traction actually out of the loop there. And look at this, immediately alongside Charles Leclerc. We're going to get clean past him by the time we get down to the end of the Wellington straight there. So back up now to where we started then in this Grand Prix, and fingers crossed we haven't let the Mercs break out too early here. We don't want them to suddenly start walking away with race victories, but yeah, like I said, the big focus is we just outscore those Red Bulls. There we go, Hamilton sets 28 flat.
Running low on fuel. Start lifting
worried,
the
Jeff.
throttle a little before the braking line and letting the drag do some of the
No,
work
I
of slowing
don't
you
want
down.
to. Anyway, sorry, like I was going to say, then we may as well talk over him. Yeah, Hamilton sets a 28 flat there. We set a 28.2, so we're only losing another couple of tenths. But it's losing time rather than gaining it still, which we don't want. Oh, here we go. Hamilton, Bottas heading down the the Wellington straight there, side by side. That's what we love to see early on in this Grand Prix. Perhaps if they can just start battling it out. Hamilton, of course, I'm sure, will love to take his first race victory of the year here. Yeah, that should, fingers crossed, give us a little bit of a helping hand, help us close in that gap. As I worry now, we've kind of left Charles Leclerc to defend from the Red Bulls behind. But even the best line I could possibly get through there, we lose a tenth to the Merc. And remember, he's in the dirty air. F1 2022, I hope you fix those little things. Game's great for the most part, but it's just those little annoyances, those little optimizations, as Hamilton again going to try and look towards Bottas, but can't get the run this time. I think there's more battling going on further behind us here. I could just see Perez and Verstappen duking it out behind Charles Leclerc there. I thought Leclerc had made the move. Oh, sorry, I thought Perez had made the move even on Leclerc, but apparently not. So just trying to push the limits a bit too much, heading down in towards Luffield. But yeah, the gap to the Mercs holding level, but that's not what we want. We want to be closing in. There's new strategy by the team. No, thank you. Don't want to try and take these softs too long. That often allows you to get undercut here. And that's not what I wanted to see behind me. Now Verstappen up into P4 of the Grand Prix, and I'm not convinced with Charles Leclerc's top-end speed that he's going to be able to get back past the Red Bull. We're still trying to push the close at the Hamilton and Bottas, but despite them duking it out, it looks like Bottas is hanging on there. We've got yellow flags out, though, further back. Someone's going slowly down towards the rear of the field. I feel like it's Carlos Sainz in the other Ferrari, I want to say. I'm pretty certain, yeah, it must be Carluccio who is dropping out of the British Grand Prix there, but no safety car this time. As finally now then, this gap seeming to be going the right way there. Just dipped under the 1 second mark for a split second between myself and Hamilton, but we're just getting a bit more confident with the car. Not making massive gains every lap, but definitely now starting to go the right way there, as I'm just sort of learning I'm learning that's not the way through Maggotts and Beckett's as well. We're just learning sort of where we can explore the grip limit a bit more, where we're losing sort of that half a tenth on a corner exit. And it is starting to mean the gaps are going the right way. There is green sector 1, green sector 2. Or, of course, it's just doing what this car always does, and that's get stronger as a stint seems to go on, apparently. So there we go, new fast lap of the day.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's not what I'm talking about, though. Big, big tank slapper at 170 odd miles an hour through turn 1. That was not fun.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
Right, team on us in then at the end of this lap there, as you can just see how skittish the car seems to be getting through turn 1. Yeah, through the loop is definitely where we're getting the most time on Bottas and Lewis Hamilton there. Really, yeah, from the final 3 corners up till about here is where we gain back a lot of the time that we lose through some of the high speed stuff.
For now. Keep taking care of them.
Team not worried about tyre wear, so I mean we could extend the stint by a lap or 2 if we wanted, but I mean it might just be worth trying to get an undercut on one of those Mercs as much as anything else. But then end of lap 10, are we going to see either of the Mercs pit then at the end of this lap? No, we're not, so we are going to try and go a bit brave then and get the undercut on them as we head into the pit lane. Only just getting it slowed down there, as no one else seems to be pitting at this stage of the day. There we go, Charles Leclerc is into the box, but to be honest, we've just watched him go backwards over the last few laps, so maybe that isn't a particularly good omen at this stage of the day there. But yeah, Hamilton and Bottas, we need them to continue battling with a bit of luck at the front of the field, and we need to try and pray that we come out in some clear air as well, as I was very worried then that the front wing guy was out there to at least change the angle on the wing. But yeah, as long as we come out ahead of this Aston Martin then, which we should do by a long old way, we should be good. There we go, both Mercs at the front, battling it out. I can just see down the end of the Wellington straight. Don't do anything stupid on pit exit, Matt, so we try and put the power down. But that's what we need there. Hamilton and Bottas trade in places as we are now going to try and go for the undercut. Oh, there we go. We have got one of the Mercs, one of the Red Bulls, and even one of the Maccas in at the end of lap 11 here. But we've just had the engine warning light come up. Shouldn't be anything bad this weekend, I don't think. But yeah, might have to worry about some penalties down the line. As looking at that graphic, I thought we had a little bit of front wing damage there, but I can't imagine from where. The car feels absolutely fine as well. And how much time then have we taken out of the Mercedes as we go purple through the final sector? It is going to be close on pit exit between myself and Lewis Hamilton there. And are we now within the DRS range? We should be. Yes, we definitely are going to be here as we head through the loop once more. This is my strongest part of the lap, and that's critical then. I'm not too worried that we haven't made the move work on at least one of them, but at least we're now within the range that we can attack later on in the Grand Prix. As we go again, go purple through sector 1 there, but a bit optimistic down the end of the Wellington Straight. Oh, there we go. Everyone else at the front into the pits. Oh, I mean, if Hamilton was ahead of Bottas already, there's a fair chance we have undercut Bottas in this Grand Prix, but I don't actually know whether Hamilton made the move work or not, as this should hopefully be fastest lap at the end of lap 12 there, and Hamilton seemingly not that strong, actually, not that confident on his medium tyres. Still trying to fire him up, as there we go, 27.3.
Let's try and get past in the DRS zone.
As where is Bottas going to come out? Bottas has come out behind both of us there, so Bottas as well on hards. For whatever reason, Valtteri Bottas now on a set of hard compound tyres as Verstappen 8 seconds away from ourselves and the Mercs, but can we now try and make a move work on Hamilton as we head out into the hangar straight? This is redemption for Silverstone 2014, I want to say, in Formula 1 there. It might have been 2015, actually, if I remember correctly, but side by side as we get down to the end of the back straight there. And for the first time today, then, we lead here at Silverstone, but it's a battle between the Brits at the front, and I'm sure they're not too worried which one of us comes out on top, as long as it's one of us. So are we going to see Hamilton get a run then down the hangar straight? He's gaining, but not enough this time round to do anything about it. So we will hang on the halfway stage of the British Grand Prix. Now the question is, can we just do enough? Often the top end speed of this car very, very good. The AI tend to be a lot quicker around parts of the lap you can't really overtake on. So are we going to go fastest again? No, we're not. But no idea why the damage. Oh, that is not the line through turn 1. Back end just decided it was going to kick out then. But yeah, the real question is, can we defend from Hamilton? As you can just see there already, a little bit overzealous in towards the loop. That was the other thing I was a little bit worried about. Bottas now has lost the DRS to Hamilton, so I'm just worried he's going to fall back into the clutches of Verstappen during the second half of this race. But yeah, I mean, we need to just focus on ourselves at the moment and focus on what Lewis is doing behind. Haven't had many battles with Lewis Hamilton on F1 2021, but if we get a good one today, that can all be forgiven, game. Oh, we got more yellow flags out down towards the end of the lap. That's one of the Alfa Romeos, I think, that might be having issues. Have they just looped around, or have they retired from the Grand Prix? I'm not 100% sure at the moment. Fingers crossed we don't get a safety car, as that is absolutely the last thing I need at this stage of the Grand Prix. I think just one of them, I'm guessing, I'm not a betting man, but it was probably Mazepin, has looped it round down at the end of the lap there. But Hamilton, again, every lap seems to take a lot of time out of me down the hangar straight, but just hasn't quite got enough to do anything at the moment, especially if we've got enough battery. We are trying to balance the battery usage out a little bit, though, so we're not left with nothing to defend right at the end. But yeah, Hamilton at the moment just doesn't... Ooh, where are we off? Hello. Yeah, Hamilton doesn't quite seem to have enough top end to do anything. Ah, that's not the line through turn 1. Thank you very much. So there we go. Hamilton sensed an opportunity here, and always, you know, Hamilton attacks like a shark. He stalks the opposition and then just picks a move. And I'll be now going to have enough to hang on down the Wellington Straight here. Hamilton's surely now DRS wide open. He's going to come at me here as we head down the back straight. Is he going to have a look up the inside? Yes, he is. And we have to give our fellow Brit the room there. Do not want this to go a bit pear-shaped. Well, with less than 10 laps to go.
Stay with him, he might make a mistake. We could still regain the position.
And Jeff's spot on then. We've got to try and stick with Lewis Hamilton here. Just a small error through the first couple of turns there, but it does show Hamilton, you know, he is still prepared to make that move. He's prepared to put it all on the line here at Silverstone, but if we can stick close through Maggots and Beckett's, we've definitely got superior top-end speed over the Merc. Let's just see if we can try and go slow in, fast out on the exit onto the hangar straight there. Look at that. Immediately we've got an absolute slingshot as we head down the back straight, but not quite close enough that time to really want to send it. If that was last lap, I would have absolutely gone for it, but not at this stage of the day. And now we've just got to see if we can stick close through the loop here, because this is where we've often been strong today. I don't know what it is about Lewis Hamilton, but he just doesn't ever seem to quite get the traction down out of those sets of corners. And now with the superior top-end speed, look at this, immediately coming back at him. Hamilton just moves ever so slightly over as he's going to try and pinch us to the apex. Do not need any contact at this stage of the day. They're side by side as we head through Luffield there. And we're going to go really wide in so we can try and get a big run off the exit of the corner here. Is this going to be Hamilton Verstappen as we go side by side up in towards the old turn 1? Can we hook it up round the outside there? No, we cannot. Hamilton hangs on to the lead of the Grand Prix for now, but we just think about trying to get the nose back up the inside at Maggots and Beckett's, but think that's probably a bit of a suicidal move at this stage of the Grand Prix. But we are going to be closer to him than we were last time round as we head out onto the hangar straight there. We're going to move to the outside as we head down the back straight there. Hamilton always wanted to give you a big squeeze, but we just about get the car slowed down a little bit later. Sweep back around the outside of Lewis Hamilton here, and this is suddenly turning into a fantastic duel for the win here at Silverstone. But 8 laps to go, we are back into the hot seat. Well, I've just heard on the radio then, the team reporting Max Verstappen might be having some small technical gremlins at this stage of the Grand Prix, so he might come under pressure from his teammate Sergio Perez, and whichever one of the McLarens is not far behind. I would put my money on it being Lando Norris, I won't lie. Yeah, Verstappen then. This could really be a critical swing in the championship. I said this race was going to be critical, but this, at the moment, is pretty much teeing up to be perfect for us, as now, still going to try and defend from Lewis Hamilton here with 6.5 laps to go. Ooh, that control electronics is not looking fun at this stage of the day. If it gets anything over 70%, I think it starts wearing out other components on the car, so we have got to try and get this thing to the end and then probably swap out that. So we might have some grid penalties next weekend there. I think we're back in Hungary next race of the season. Often hasn't featured in these shorter calendars, but I thought we'd make a bit of a change up for the final year of the Williams RTG. Yeah, that's not good. Shouldn't really cost us too much here though still, as Hamilton still breathing down my neck as Perez now all over the back of his teammate Max Verstappen. And surely Verstappen's just got to let his teammate by here. Now they've got to play the team game at the moment still down at Red Bull. As I think, yeah, Lando Norris, I'm going to say it is. As, oh, here comes Hamilton again, though. I'm too busy worrying about that. Not worrying about the Mercedes is going to steamroll back up the inside there as we head down towards the end of Maggots and Beckett's, trying to get up back around the outside of Lewis on the corner exit.
Try to keep focus.
I thought they were about to say the engine then. For some reason, I suddenly got really scared in the British Grand Prix as one of the Aston Martins now going slowly. It's all kicking off late on here at Silverstone as we just couldn't quite make a move work up the inside of Hamilton that time round. And I think I've just seen an AlphaTauri go into the back of that Aston down the end of the straight, and now we've got a virtual safety car because of it. Yeah, I'm going to hazard a guess and say I think this is Yuki Tsunoda. He's just going to crash into the back of that Aston. F1 2021 AI, I do question you at times. Oh, sorry, I forgot, obviously, the driver names have changed, haven't they? Obviously, we've had driver transfers. Kimi Raikkonen even out of the Grand Prix. I was going to say, I thought I didn't recognise either AlphaTauri as that helmet there, but Kimi Raikkonen, the most experienced man in Formula 1, clearly doesn't know how to overtake someone in a straight line. That's reassuring. There we go, green flag racing once more then here at Silverstone. So we try and stick close to Hamilton again, but the AI tend to be able to just fire up their tyres a little bit quicker. They shouldn't be cold by any means, but they'll just have that little bit of extra grip, that little bit of extra confidence off a restart here, and we cannot afford to let Hamilton sneak this one away. We lost the win late on at Austria. It cannot happen again here as Perez has moved past Max. Come on then, out onto the back straight we go once more. Are we going to be able to get a run on Lewis Hamilton? He sees us having a look to the inside, so we're going to sweep back to the outside as we head down towards the end of the Wellington straight there. Oh, big snap of oversteer. Can we try and use that to flick us into the next corner? Not quite the way I would have wanted that time round. There is Hamilton just hanging on again for now. But we're still applying the pressure then to our fellow Brits. Purple through Sector 1. That's what we've got to keep doing here late on in the British Grand Prix. So there we go. It was Lando Norris. He's now moved past Max Verstappen late on in the day. So at the very best, the Dutchman looks like he's going to walk away with just 8 points here. But is it going to be 19? Or is it going to be 26 for us, obviously, depending on the fastest lap?
But remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Not worried about that, Jeff, at the moment, as again we're going to get a look towards Hamilton there. And again, he sweeps to the inside. Round the outside again we go, though. Down at the end of the Wellington straight. And can we get it slowed down this time round and get the move hooked up there? Hamilton's going to try and keep it around the outside, but we just have enough this time around. And back up into the lead then of the British Grand Prix we go with just a lap and a half. Will it be myself? Will it be Lewis Hamilton here? These are critical laps for not only this race, but also the World Championship. Is this the passing of the guard for British Motorsport as well, though? We've kind of seen it so far this year with Hamilton and George Russell. Not saying Hamilton's lost anything, but George Russell is certainly a fantastic racer, and we know how good Lando Norris is as well. But trying to go defensive then on Hamilton as we head down the back straight. Not really too sure where to brake there as Hamilton tries to swoop around the outside there. We're going to be side by side as we head down in towards the final lap then, and up the inside we go on our fellow Brit once more there. Is he going to try and keep the nose up the inside? No, he can't that time around. We just pinch him
One lap of fuel remaining.
towards the apex, and now we've got lapped cars as well that we might have to navigate here on the final lap of the British Grand Prix there. The engine wear is not looking great at the moment. How many crazy late race battles will I get on F1 2021? This game has really delivered over the last few weeks there. But Antonio Giovinazzi moves out of the way as we head through the first corner. Nikita Mazepin going to jump out of the way as well as we head down the back straight. And that's exactly what we need there, because that's going to give us the DRS. So Hamilton can't really gain anything at all there. And has Nikita Mazepin just potentially won me a Formula 1 Grand Prix here as we try and put the power down out in towards the old turn 1 then. Nicholas Latifi, please don't do anything stupid now at this stage of the day. No, Latifi backs out of it before we make it back down towards the old turn 1 there as all. Mick Schumacher just took a bit of a weird line there, so I got a little bit thrown off by that. And I think Hamilton, he's lost out through all this. Hamilton about 9/10ths back as we head through Maggotts and Beckett's for the final time here at Silverstone. It might have been Valtteri Bottas on pole there, but once the pit strategies had been done, it was always going to be a battle between myself and Lewis Hamilton to the checkered flag here. Round in the final few corners of the British Grand Prix, the engine is destroyed, the tyres are barely hanging on, but the full 26 points, we're back to winning ways in the My Team career mode. Our first win since Canada. Get in there.
I need a moment. You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
Brilliant stuff from Williams today. What a superb victory. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Oh, here they are now. I always love seeing the independent teams do well. Williams have a long and storied history with F1, and I'm delighted to see them on the top step of the podium. Not the result our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Mick Schumacher gets my vote today.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula 1.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the British Grand Prix, and rather annoyingly, Sergio Perez snatched the fastest lap bonus point from me right in the dying stages there, but it does mean, yeah, big gains on both Red Bulls in the championship. We come through for the dub ahead of Lewis Hamilton there and Valtteri Bottas, so nice to see Mercedes back to fighting form as well there. Perez in P4 ahead of Lando Norris and Max Verstappen with Ricciardo, Gasly, Leclerc, and yeah, George Russell, no idea what happened to him today, just had no pace in the sister car there. Stroll, Tsunoda, Ocon, Schumacher, and then you can see the rest of your finishers now on your screen. Kimi Räikkönen and Carlos Sainz there, both not making it through to the checkered flag there. Two of Ferrari's most recent number 2 drivers there. Championship standings, though, we do finally move into P2 of the championship there. 23 points now back from Max Verstappen as we head into the final few races of the year. Really getting exciting there as Bottas and Norris jump past George, Charles and Carlos Sainz. So a big battle going on for P5 as well in the table there. No other movers overall. Constructors-wise, though, the gap to Merc does come down a little bit as McLaren jumped Ferrari as well there after a good solid haul of points by Lando Norris. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourselves subscribed as well, and we'll be back very, very soon with more of the F1 2021 Williams Road to Glory. It's getting spicy. Hopefully we can win this championship. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.